That's a crazy story. So take me through that, man. How did you meet Tupac? How did you and him connect for the first time?
Um, how did it come about? Well, I had moved back to California, getting into a whole lot of trouble. Um, I was making a lot of money at the time. I was actually living with an older woman right in my hood. She was like a young Mary J. Blige. I was 16, she was 24. Like I was young, but I was, hair on my face. I was like a whole adult, you know what I mean? And she had two kids and I'm holding her down and shit. I just got tired of Jersey, man. I saw my future one day. I was just, my mom being on drugs my whole youth, and my big brother, he started being on drugs and shit. I think what really made me want to leave was when Nico Storm and Al G died. The same two guys, that got into it with Vin Rock. You know, um, that was my first. They died back to back. This was like '95. They died like a couple weeks apart. Storm, he was on the street. I guess he was robbing some dudes in one of the Carolinas, North Carolina, South Carolina, whatever happened, and he wound up getting killed. And our homie Al G, he stayed like three doors down from me. Al Tariq Bussy, him and Fatal was like best friends, man. Al G was like a real gangster, man. He cool as shit, funny as shit. And he wound up kind of going crazy when Storm died. He was one of his best friends, and us young black men, um, it's hard to deal with trauma. We don't know how to deal with it sometimes. And right after Storm had died, he wound up breaking into the funeral home, and they caught him in there. He was just in there with the shit, with Storm. You know what I mean? I guess he was in there drinking, getting high or whatever. He wanted to see his bro one more time. You know what I mean? But shortly after that, he was with the other homies, and they wound up getting pulled over by the police, and he hopped out and made them kill him. You know what I mean? And the devastation of that, it kind of like made my hood go crazy. Everybody turning against each other, and it was like niggas fighting every day. It just was like I just didn't. It was a horrible time. And I just wanted something better. Just tired of just doing the same shit. I'm like 16. I'm like, it gotta be something better for me in life than this shit. I just want to be a kid. I wasn't in school. Like I said, I'm, living with this chick, and I just wanted something better for myself, man. And called my sister and said, I'm tired of this shit. I was in and out the youth house, and it was just real street shit, just every fucking day. And I just saw a vision. I'm like, if I stay out here, my life, like, is this all life about? And called my sister, and she was like, yeah, come on. I bought my ticket. And my girl, she was like begging me not to go and shit. I was like, something in my spirit is just telling me to go. So I left. And a couple months later, I was rapping with Tupac. Mind you, when I moved to California, I was just writing every day. I knew how to rap. We used to freestyle, every fucking day. That's just what we did in the hood. It was just normal. So when I got to California, I didn't have too many friends, obviously. I liked it like that. Knew some girls, met this dude that lived across the street. He was a blood nigga. The whole apartment was Crips. He was the only blood nigga over there. We went to the same school and shit. But his name was Daryl. He locked up right now doing life. Um, but D was cool as shit. I moved to Rancho Cucamonga. That's where my sister lived at. And so I'm writing every day for whatever reason, just to like clear my mind. Like in the morning, going to school. I went to start going to continuation school. I used to be writing, like waiting on the bus, smoking a beanie, writing a rap. So for some reason, I was just writing. And one day I came home from school, and my sister said, two of my friends from New Jersey is in California, and they called me, and they told her to tell me to call them as soon as I got home from school. She was like, yeah, it's somebody named Fatal. They said they out here with Tupac and this and that, and I called them, and them niggas, they was out there. They're like, yo, where you at? I'm like, yo, I'm out here with my sister. Da, 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 da. I gave them the address. They said, nigga, we on our way. Them niggas was on their way immediately to come get me. My sister, she kind of put kind of put a pause on it. And I get off the phone with them and she like asking me about them, like who are they, where they from? You know, I'm like, they from my neighborhood, this and that. And she was kind of worried about um me going to see Tupac because you know he had just got out of jail. You know, mind you, I didn't even know he was out of jail. He had just got out of jail from you know, he had just got shot and you know he was in there for the rape you know, that he was falsely accused of and all that. And mind you, all the headlines. So my sister was like, you know, you sure you want to, you know, you out here, you done with all that trouble shit. Like, you sure you want to go be around like somebody like Tupac? And I'm like, you know what, you right. You know, like these are my niggas. I grew up with them. Like these is my dogs. But, you know, so they got there and, you know, I talked with them. They pulled up in a limo about 45 minutes later. And I ain't just hop in a limo. I talked to these niggas for about 30 minutes, just like picking their brain, like, you know, seeing what the f going on. It's just like some out the blue shit. Like I ain't talked to these niggas since I left New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? So so I'm out here, I'm like in school, I'm living a good, peaceful life, playing basketball every day. I'm like enjoying just being a kid, not walking out my house. Like I stay in the middle of the block on New Street. I walk out my house every day. It's 20 niggas outside, you know? So I was like really enjoying that piece of just being a kid. Like I was like 17 years old and it was, you know, it was a good thing for me. So my sister, she put me on hold like, yo, you know, find out what's going on first. So I talked to my guys and, you know, they told me a little bit what's going on, but then was my nigga. So I was going with them, you know, hopped in a limo and we went out there and met Pac and shit, you know what I mean?
Pac got mad when they brought you to his house, right?
He wasn't necessarily mad that he brought me there. He was more mad that, excuse me, they stole his limo, you know? So Rancho Cucamonga is probably 45 minutes from Los Angeles. So I guess he was doing an interview or something in his condo. He had a condo on Wilshire. I think it was called the Wilshire House. And once they talked to me, I guess they was like, F whatever Pac doing, we going to get no. You know, like these are my niggas. Like we been through a lot together. They yeah, so we pull up to the crib and first thing I see when we get out is Pac's sister. She's getting out of car as well. I guess she had just got there because he was fresh in California, fresh out of jail. He might have been there like 2 weeks or something. So Fatal and Gaddafi was the first two outlaws he got out there. So I meet his sister when we pull up, Setua. She's pregnant with Edie's baby, Malik. And we go upstairs, Set going first, he give her a hug, and we walk through the door. And he looks at me and they introduce like, yo, this my nigga Nob from the hood, you know what I mean? We grew up with him. And he like, yo, nice to meet you, Nob, but and he immediately put his attention on these niggas. And he started barking on them, like, yo, what the f? Like, you know, he had a right to. Like, he was busy doing some shit, and these niggas fresh in California, and they steal his limo. You know, he like, yo, what y'all niggas been going for 2 hours. You know, they had no cell phones or no shit like that. So, you know, he was really more mad about that. Then they walk in the house with somebody he don't know. And you know, yeah, so it was a mixture of it. You know what I mean? So he's barking on them niggas about the whole shit. And like even in the middle of that, I'm like, and my first thing I'm thinking in my head is, I should have listened to my fucking sister. Like, you know, like what you niggas done got me into. You know what I mean? Like I'm minding my business. You know. But yeah, he was just barking on them niggas, man. He was upset that they actually stole the limo. But it ain't last long. When I told him, I'm like, yo, you know, no disrespect, Pac. I know you fresh out. I totally understand. I don't let motherfuckers, you know, just strangers coming to your crib. That's just not what it is. You know what I mean? But, you know, yeah, he was like, nah, it's all good. You know, he passed me the blunt and everything and shit, you know, and he walked away. Yaki was like, man, what he talking about? And you know, immediately after that though, he knew who I was, like just from the conversation, you know, me, Gaddafi and Fatal, like, you know, mind you, they just left the hood. Like they just seen my mother a couple days ago before they got on the plane. Like they used to hustle. My mom stayed on 146 Bloomfield Avenue upstairs from the Chinese store, you know, so everybody hustled in front of the Chinese store. Like my mom, all the fiends, you know, they would come to my, you know, might be 20 niggas out there selling. And they know my mom, know everybody. My mom was like the mother for everybody. Fatal Gaddafi, she was like the mother for everybody. You know what I mean? So, they used to be all the fans would come up to my mom and try to get her to go downstairs and do what they do. My mom was a hustler. She used to get money from them and go downstairs to the brothers, all my guys, and get deals from them and all that shit. So, just from Pac sitting with me and Gaddafi and we laughing and how we communicate with each other, he knew immediately that, I wasn't just some nigga in California, that I actually like grew up with these niggas. Like, these niggas coming telling me, yo, I'm in Cali, they seeing my mom every day and shit, and my brother coming around and, so, he knew who I was, that night, that I wasn't just a stranger and shit. So it wasn't really about me. It was more so about them niggas still in the limo. But yeah, you don't just bring no motherfucking strangers to your crib. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was definitely out of pocket. So take me through that. Like, how was that like? You coming from Jersey to LA and living that lifestyle?
Um, it was amazing, man. It was amazing. It was a little hectic. I remember like going out with Pac and I remember thinking that fame is some different just like us going to the mall, right? And we walk into the mall, we about to go get some sneakers or something, and we walk into the mall and people start charging at us and shit. It's like you don't know if you want to punch somebody in the face or, you know, like I'm talking about, yeah, like you just imagine you walk into the mall and just all these people start just running at you and shit. I'm talking about like grown ass men and it was like, being around him and that superstardom, you see how people react to it. And it's like I'm sitting back just watching like that fame is something different. It makes that TV screen and that music and being on the radio, it makes people um, react to you as a human being like different. Just depends on how they perceive you. I just remember me being a 17-year-old saying, this fame is a weird thing. Where we just going outside and all these people just start fucking rushing at you and shit, you know? It's a little crazy.
Yeah, I heard Pac used to move around LA with no security.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, a lot of times it used to just be him and us. A lot of times, for sure. I mean, Pac was a soldier, man, and he was a man of the people, and he wasn't scared of the people, and he wasn't in fear of um just the people. He was a people person. He loved his fans and he loved the streets and the strugglers and that's how he moved. But he definitely used to have security sometimes for sure. He absolutely needed it. But, a lot of times it would just be him and us, you know what I mean? Just going wherever it needed to be going. Yeah, he was a mega star, man. He wasn't just like a regular nigga with a platinum album. He was like a mega star, but Pac was a real human being. Besides like, the mega stardom where here it is 28 years later, like Pac passed away when I was 18 years old. Like I'm 46 years old, man. And you know what I'm saying? He passed, yeah, man. He was a real person and real, he had a real heart and a real soul and he really loved people, man. And he was fearless, man. He was fearless as well. So he wasn't about to be a prisoner to his fame, although sometimes he absolutely felt like that. But yeah, he gonna go outside. We're gonna go to some restaurants. We're gonna ride down goddamn Sunset. He loved riding down Sunset with the top back, you know what I mean? Letting the wind breeze. Yeah, no security, just us and him. Like, yeah, he wasn't scared of living, you know what I'm saying?